Well, Sabbath greetings, everyone. Glad to be back here this week for Sabbath greetings. I was really not in a position to do one last week. I had company here, and there was just other things on my mind as we were preparing for the church-wide fast, which was quite remarkable, and I hope everyone really enjoyed that opportunity. I really do, because we don't get that opportunity very often. We don't often call church-wide fasts all the time, but I was very happy to be able to participate in that and see how unifying that process is and that opportunity is. It unifies us. It brings us together even more so for a common goal when we're fasting together and we're seeking God in a very special way. And an absolutely excellent sermon from Mr. Ames for that particular Sabbath. And so I want to listen to that again here before too long. I haven't had a chance to listen to it again yet, but was able to listen to it on the Sabbath. And so what a unifying and wonderful opportunity that is. And so I also want to not going to get too lengthy here tonight, but just a couple of reminders and a couple of things I wanted to encourage you to do. Please be sure, if you have the opportunity at all and access, which most of us do, most of us have access to the internet and are able to get online and view the Bible studies and the other activities that are being recorded out at headquarters. They're doing, or not out at headquarters, at camp. They're doing a little bit different this year. They're not live streaming, but they're putting them up a little bit after the fact. But what I've heard so far, they're just excellent messages, not just for the teens, but for all of us. And so I hope you have the opportunity. I've got to catch up. I'm going to do that this evening. It's pretty early here the afternoon. I wanted to get this done because I got to do dinner. I've got to fix dinner here. We're going to be grilling again this evening, hamburgers, and we're going to have hamburgers and vegetables on the grill, and then we'll have some fries to go with it, and so looking forward to that. But I also have to get back downstairs in my home studio and re-record. I appreciate your prayers. If you would, just think about it. I've got to re-record one of the webcasts. I sent a couple of webcasts out. Wow, this has been a couple of weeks now, and I think one of them came through okay in terms of the quality of the video, but the other one, I've already sent it out there twice, and I've been asked to do it a third time. So I'm going to try to get down in that studio this evening and see if I can't get the lighting worked out a little bit better, and hopefully I'll have a recording that they can use for the webcast, which is written and all ready, but this will be the third time I'm sending it, and so I'm trying to tweak down there. I appreciate your prayers. I'm trying to move things around, get the lighting better, and for whatever reason I can't get my camera to focus in on me well enough. It's kind of focusing in too much on the background. So anyway, appreciate your prayers. It's one of those things I just keep working on and trying to tweak the best I can, because I do want to be able to serve in that way if I can. I'm certainly happy to serve in that way. So anyway, appreciate your prayers there. Camp is well underway. Like I was saying, the videos that have been posted are fantastic. Mr. Ames gave a Christian living there a couple of days ago, maybe yesterday, I think. I haven't listened to that yet. I got some catching up to do tonight, but I've listened to a couple of days worth of evening reflections and Christian living classes, and then I've got some more to catch up with tonight. But I hope you're all able to get out there and view those, because they really are great, and you can kind of be there and get the sense of the spirit and the attitude that's there at this camp. It is just amazing. I think you can sense it even by listening to those videos and seeing the kids and seeing how they're reacting to those messages. So I've talked to my daughters. I've got two out there at camp now. Had a chance to talk to them several times this past week, and they're doing fantastic. And I was able to finally get a care package off to them today, and I don't know, Dad's spoiling them just a little bit, but I like to do that when they're at camp, and So hopefully, I know they'll appreciate getting the care packages. I went to camp just 1 year in SEP back in the day, and was able to receive a care package or two, maybe even. So I remember how exciting that was. So anyway, please pray about the camp and pray for those kids that they can have a fantastic and uneventful camp this year in terms of safety and good attitudes and everything else. So also another thing, just wanted to mention, here we have the Olympics. The opening ceremony is this evening, Friday evening, and then the Olympics start there in Rio. Of course, there's a lot of controversy in terms of these Olympics, not just in terms of the doping and all that with the Russians and a lot of other issues in that regard, but also just with the cleanliness of the water and some of those things that are going on there in Rio. I think there were even talks of maybe even canceling it, not having it in Rio, but they're going to do it anyway. It's going forward. Opening ceremony is this evening. But it is interesting as the Olympics start to think about all of the training and everything that goes into becoming an Olympic athlete and how that plays into the Scripture. And Paul uses that analogy quite a bit. We talked about that at Missouri Preteen Camp when we used our theme of sportsmanship. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 24, Paul says, "Do you not know that those who run in a race all run, but one receives the prize? Run in such a way that you may obtain it. And everyone who competes for the prize is temperate in all things. They do it to obtain a perishable crown, but we for an imperishable crown. Therefore I run thus, not with uncertainty. Thus I fight, not as one who beats the air, but I discipline my body and bring it into subjection, lest when I have preached to others, I myself should become disqualified." You know, the analogy is very clear. It's like you know, competing in sports. There's a lot of discipline that it takes to become an Olympic athlete, and that's, you know, something that Paul likens our spiritual, you know, the spiritual race that we're running, that it takes tremendous discipline. And it does, as he says to Timothy in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 2 Timothy 2 and verse 5, he says, "If anyone competes in athletics, he's not crowned unless he competes according to the rules." You know, here's all this hard work and all this dedication that they put in, and they can either do it according to the rules or they can cheat. And we see so many athletes today that choose to cheat because they think that's the only way that they can compete. You know, there are spiritual analogies there as well, and that's why Paul brings this up. You got to compete by the rules. You can't cheat. There's no shortcuts in this spiritual life. I've said it before. I'll probably say it 1,000 more times. There aren't any shortcuts. There's no spiritual shortcuts. It takes discipline. It takes really disciplining our minds and our bodies and our hearts. And so I just wanted to mention that with the Olympics in full thrust here very soon, to make sure that we're keeping that in mind, that there aren't any shortcuts, but we've got to be really zealous. And just as Mr. Ames was bringing out so many incredible points in his sermon last Sabbath, let's take those things to heart. Let's listen to that sermon. I want to listen to it again, and we need to really be inculcating those things into our minds and understand that very soon the race, there's a finish line. And that finish line is for each one of us at maybe different times in our lives. Some of you are nearing the end of your race perhaps. None of us know when that's going to be. It is to the end though, to the end of our lives or until Christ returns, whichever one happens first. But we've got to compete all the way to the end of the race, and we've got to compete according to the rules. So anyway, let's be focused on making sure we discipline ourselves, not try to take any shortcuts. But I hope you have a tremendous Sabbath. I really pray for you all, and I appreciate your prayers for me and for my family. I really do love you, and I look forward to seeing you folks in the Dells again. I've missed you, and summer schedule's been kind of crazy, so haven't been making it around as much as I usually like to because we've been gone so much, but I'm looking forward to seeing you in the Dells again there and the rest of you in the weeks ahead. I love you all very much. Have a tremendous Sabbath. Take care, and we'll talk again real soon.